There we go. Okay. All right. Let me get this one settled. Come on. Good girl. Can you sit? Good girl. Okay. So let's get started. We'll do some breath work. So let's do some wave breathing. So one hand on the lower abdomen, one hand on the chest. And let's just come to the present moment. So feet on the ground. Good morning, Carrie. Feet on the ground, of course, unless we're in a handstand. And feel the weight. Let's rock back and forth, actually, from the balls of your feet to the heels. And just feel what it feels like when we shift the weight from the front to the back. And then see if you can find just where the center is so that you can sense at least your knees directly over the ankles, your hips directly over your knees, and your shoulders directly over your hips. And shoulders are nice and loose, dropping down away from the ears. And slow, deep breathing. So really allow the lungs to expand on the inhale, and then the exhale. Really allow a nice, long, slow, full exhale. And then we go back into the inhale. Maybe even adding in a slight pause at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. It's a really great way of becoming present, because when we have that pause, right, that's where the breath is turned into chi, but it's where our mind really has a sense of clarity. It's like, uh-oh, hold on. We're breathing. We're not taking any oxygen here for a minute. And the body's like, what? And it really is a way of anchoring ourselves into the present moment. So at the top of the inhale, slight pause before you exhale. And then full exhale. Imagine you're just emptying every last drop of air out, even though you're not, or else we'd collapse. And at the bottom of the exhale, a slight pause. And if anything throughout the day, even just pausing and doing a minute or two of this type of breathing can really transform your energy pretty significantly. If you're in a stress mode, just pause. Slow, deep breathing. Little pause at the top of the inhale, bottom of the exhale can be a mini reset and help to clear the mind. And then let's open the arms, drop them down, and we'll go into a version of knocking on the door of life with a little weight shift to the right and left. And when we do, we're going to bring the weight will always be more on the front foot. So we're going to do a little bit of weight shift. And when we knock, bring one foot back, and you're going to come to the toes of that foot. So what that looks like is if it's like a weight shift and then come to the toe of the opposite foot. So you're kind of like opening up the hips, but tapping the toes slightly behind you. It's just a little different variation. So it's a little bit more opening the hips, but we're stepping back. So my weight, when we toe tap, my weight is really still in the front foot. So the lightness is in your back leg. And we're still knocking across the abdomen and the low back. Keep going at your own pace. Just loosening up all of those joints along the vertebra, opening up the hips. And breathing. That's actually the most important part. That we're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then let's come to the center, keep knocking. Now our feet are firmly planted. Just for a minute. Or 20 seconds. A minute can take on all different types of time frames. Give me a minute. And then we'll start to slowly unwind. So now let's go into dog wags its tail. We'll have a little fun here. So this is just a slight shifting of the weight from the right foot to the left foot. Keep your upper body nice and loose. So just by shifting the weight from right to left, you'll see your spine starts to undulate, right? If we're really keeping everything loose, I'll show you what it looks like if I keep everything rigid. It's just back and forth, right to left. But if you keep some flexibility and relaxation, you see that from shifting the weight from the bottom, we're creating a ripple effect all the way up. And then you get this nice, gentle shaking out of the spine laterally. So it's actually a really nice way to loosen up the spine, especially on the sides of the spine, all the way to the base of the neck. And you can go a little bit, play with going a little bit more slow. Or maybe a little bit faster. And then we'll start to slow down. So we're going to work on, since it is definitely metal season now, and there's always these, slight upcroppings of illnesses going around. Let's work a little bit on strengthening and opening the lungs. So let's start with the palms at the center of the chest, and your elbows will be out to the side. So we don't want them for this particular exercise. Instead of having the elbows down, we're going to work, because it's going to be working more with opening and stretching the areas around the lungs. So press the hands together. Now this is a really important cue. You're going to be rotating from the torso, the upper part of the body, but I want your head facing forward, because that's where the slight wringing out is going to take place. So what we're going to do is pick a point in front of you and focus on it, and then keep that focus, and then just turn your shoulders, your upper torso over to the left. So you see I'm still looking forward, but my arms and my shoulders are rotating over to the left, and then come back to the center, elbows still up, and then rotate over to the right, looking forward. So you're not turning the whole upper body. You're turning basically this part of the body. Okay, so we come over to the left and you're looking straight, and then to the center, and then slowly over to the right and to the center. So you'll start to maybe notice the stretch through the thoracic spine, the upper part of the spine. And this is giving the area around the lungs, the intercostal muscles, a nice stretch. And then we'll start to pick up the pace slightly. So we're just inhaling and exhaling. Keep the head looking forward. So your knees, your toes, and your head And really your hips are facing forwards. This is more rotation of like this part of the body, like your rib cage, the musculature, the skeletal system that's surrounding the lungs. And then a little bit faster. Just a little bit, like you're a little pendulum swinging back and forth. Also great for the shoulders. If anyone has shoulder issues, getting the joint capsule to be lubricated with the fluid that's bathing the capsule. And a gentle stretch. Great if you've had a recent lung condition and you're strengthening that whole system back up. If you have asthma, just moving energy through. It's important for energy to still move. And then start to slow down and drop the arms down. So you might feel maybe even a little bit fatigued. It's not a bad thing. We're working energy through there. So let's go to a wider stance now. And what I'd like to do is warm up the body since it's freezing up here. I love it. It's great. But we'll start to ignite the inner fire. So igniting from the inside out. We'll start with the palms together. Again, your elbows are a little more out to the sides, and we'll start generating some heat by rubbing the palms back and forth. So this is the palms are most associated with the heart and pericardium channels. So this is great for circulation. We're generating fire, which is the element of those two organ systems. And then we'll start to weight shift. So this is a little cue here is whatever elbow is coming up, you're going to shift the weight over to that side. So your right elbow comes out to the right, and then you shift the weight to the right, and then you turn and look left. And then as we come to the center, dip down slightly, palms are still together, and now turning over to the left, you turn and look right. And then slowly to the center, and then over to the right, and you look left. So we elbow and weight shift to one side, and you turn and look in the opposite side. And we'll start generating just a little momentum here. We start pumping energy through our body from the feet up the legs, these big, strong muscles in our legs that we're working with here really generates chi, generates circulation and heat. And then we're also continuously rubbing these palms back and forth. So we're creating heat also in the palms, which will transfer heat to the chest. Really great for the heart. And then let's come to the center. Let's pause here for a second. And then on the next inhale, open up and look up. And then exhale back to the center, looking down towards the earth. So inhale, heart to the sky. And exhale, heart to the earth. Heart to the sky. Heart to the earth. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. So we are going to do that one more time. So again, come to our first stance here, palms together, elbows up. Let's generate some heat through the palms. So this movement is a little bit more cardiovascular driven, which is a great thing to do at the beginning of the class. We're warming up, we're getting energy and chi to flow. Now we shift the weight over to the left, elbow to the left, turn and look right. To the center, over to the right, turn and look left. So your elbow comes out to the side as the weight shifts, right? And then you're turning and looking in the opposite direction. And you can maybe play with dipping down even further when you come to the center. A little bit more of a challenge. And then breathing. So inhaling and exhaling. I like to inhale in one direction and exhale in the opposite, but whatever feels right for you. And then we'll come to the center. We are really getting fire going here. Heart to the sky. So inhale, arms open, look up. And exhale back to the center. And again. And again. Let's slow everything down now and do a little twisting of the spine. So we're going to keep our hands on our thighs above our knee. Take a nice inhale. And as we exhale, slowly drop your right shoulder down. You can use your right arm to create a little bit of leverage here, and then turn very gently and look over your left shoulder. And we'll just stay here for a minute. Just breathe. Think about making space, getting a little bit longer from the tailbone to the crown of your head in the inhale. And then on the exhale, maybe go a little bit deeper into the twist. So moving between creating space and then wringing out the spine. Create space, wring out the spine. And then slowly come to the center. And then we'll exhale, dropping the left shoulder down, turning and look over the right. And again, inhale, create a little space. Imagine that you can grow an inch on the inhale. And then exhale, maybe that gives you a little bit more room and space to go into the twist a little bit more deeply. And then we'll just do a few on the breath. So inhale to the center, and then exhale, drop the shoulder down. And then right away, we go into the next inhale, we come back to the center, and then dropping the left shoulder down now. So just moving on the breath. So inhale to the center, and then exhale, dropping the shoulder down. Just really getting a nice stretch from the base of the back up through the mid back, even all the way up into the shoulders. And then come to the center. Now either keep your hands on your thighs or you can bring them to the floor. And then just let your head spill forward if that feels okay. Keep a little gentle bend in the knees. This should feel really nice, giving the low back a little bit of a stretch, the hamstrings. And just let your head, like a big old bowling ball, help to create a little bit of traction. So it's going to, your head's going to very gently pull on your spine to help that stretch. And then grab one wrist with your opposite hand, and then slowly, let's roll vertebrae by vertebrae, feeling and relishing that spread of energy outward as we come up. And then we'll do a few full body waves here. So keep the knees a little bit bent. We're going to extend forward with a flat back towards the earth, and then relax the spine, and then just roll all the way up. Inhale, stretching up, stretching forward. See if you can get a little bit longer. Stretch towards the front of the room, and then come down and relax, and then slowly roll up. This is great. We're stretching the whole front of the body here. So you can even gently press your hips just a bit forward. And then as we come forward and down, a nice stretch on the entire back side of the body. And then roll up. Let's do that one more time. And one last stretch. And then exhale. All right, let's bring our feet back to a neutral stance. And let's do a little shaking. Let's do shaking with the heart sound. I'm so happy that I have this new microphone that all I want to do is make all these sounds now. So now that you can hear me, the heart sound again is. So let's start first bouncing the knees, and then let the arms start to bounce. Let the wrists start to shake. And then on the exhale, we can make the heart sound. Just clearing all the stagnation out of the heart center, the lungs. Let's actually bring the arms up so the palms are up as we continue to shake. So still shaking the wrist while the arms are out to the sides. Now turn so the palms face down, still shaking out the wrists. And then bring the arms all the way up, continuing to shake out the wrists, still pumping the knees. And then slowly come out to the side again. And then all the way back down. And start to slow down. And let's just notice the buzzing and tingling as your energy and your chi has been activated. Circulation is improving. Maybe our mind is already feeling a little more clear. And the cups have been emptied of their stagnant energy and ready to be filled up. So let's start with filling up with the earth energy. So this is pulling up the earth. This is the one that looks a lot like Buddha holding up the earth. I like doing these either variation. It's a great start to our flow sequences. So we'll start with the palms facing up. Again, let's just do ergonomics and key points here that we're moving with relaxation. So whatever it is that we're doing, just think, how could I relax my arms just a little bit more? Oh, I realize that I'm holding my wrist really rigid. I'm going to relax that. So as we go through these flows, just continuously come back and do a self check-in and see maybe the mind got a little tight, focusing on a thought that popped in, and we kind of let that go with the exhale. Same thing physically. So we'll start inhale the arms to float, right? There's that water quality. We float up. And then exhale, the arms float back down all the way to the earth. And then we inhale, imagine that as we inhale, we're drawing energy up the legs from the earth all the way up. And then exhale, like leaves falling off of a tree and fall. The hands float back down to the earth. And then we inhale, absorbing, soaking in this beautiful yellow healing light. And then exhale back down. Drawing in all the way up through the nose, and then exhale through the nose. Softening, relaxing, focused, but relaxed mind. So think as we're moving like we're moving through water, there's space between the thoughts. And in that space, we're focusing our attention to what we are doing right now. This intention drawing up energy from the earth, absorbing it, and then exhale, letting energy float back to the earth to be composted and to transform into this new breath, this new opportunity to draw in and release back down. Let's come to our chi ball for a moment. Just feeling, connecting our mind, our awareness to the space between your hands. And then we'll do, and that was an earth-centric flow. Let's do a little metal flow. So the lung meridian ends at the thumb, and the large intestine meridian starts at the index finger. So there's a circuit that's created between those two paired organs. So this is called Soaring Eagle. So we're going to open up the arms out to the sides, connect your thumb and index finger, and then as we exhale, you're going to bring the arms around close together. So sink the chest down just slightly as we do, and then release the fingers, palms face down, and then we're going to inhale and open up. So that actually your weight might actually shift more towards your toes as we open. Palms up, connect thumb and index finger. And then as we exhale, the chest sinks slightly. Your weight shifts just a little bit towards the heels as we exhale and sink down. So inhale and exhale. So think about opening this energy from the chest down the inner arm to the thumb, and then coming up from the index finger up the outside of the arm, creating this lovely circuitry from the lungs to the large intestine, helping breathing, helping elimination. And we'll add on here. So this time, as we bring the arms forward and release the thumb and index finger, palms face you. And then as we inhale, this time, draw your open palms in towards your lungs. And then exhale, push that away. And now arms out to the sides again. So it's just that little additional in and out. So we'll start again. Exhale, thumb and index finger together as we come forward. Release the hands so palms face you, and then inhale, draw your palms in like you're drawing in this white light right into the center of your lungs. And then as we exhale, we're letting go of this cloudy gray murkiness. Right now we have all the space now to take a beautiful, inspired new breath. Index finger and thumb together. Exhale, come forward. So as we slowly inhale, again, imagine this brilliant white light coming in, soothing and healing. And then we're exhaling, letting go of stagnation, things that are weighing heavy on our lungs, maybe even grief or sadness, right? We're transforming that, feeling what we feel. And then when we're ready to transform that into a different frequency, right, we can use these movements and intentions to help facilitate that so that we feel more inspired and uplifted, having reverence and gratitude from our experiences and things that maybe we've had to say goodbye to, that we've, whether it's a person, a pet, an experience, a certain part of our life, having this beautiful reverence for having been able to fully live and experience that person, that animal, that experience. And maybe transform things that weigh heavy, more like the grief that is very important for us all to feel, right? But then making sure that it doesn't start to transform into stagnation and lead. Internally. Part of the letting go process is exactly what we're talking about with the compost. It just means letting go to be transformed into a different type of energy. That white light associated with the metal element is soothing and nourishing for this particular area. And then next time you inhale your hands in towards your lungs, you can keep your elbows down a little bit now. You don't have to keep them upright. It's a nice relaxed position. Your palms are facing your lungs, and just send that brilliant white light right into the center of your chest. Just feel your lungs absorbing this white light. And then drop the arms down. Just feel yourself right now. Feel your body, sense your emotional center, your mind. And then let's go into the fountain. So we've created the space within the lung system. Let's just draw in water and help that circulation of energy. Like we're watering seeds, we're watering the soil, we're watering these new uh, maybe vibrations that we want to start cultivating. Let's water them. So we're going to bring the back of the hands together. And then on the inhale, as you roll the spine up, so the movement really comes from rolling the spine up. The hands come up the center line of the body to about your collarbone. And then exhale the arms out all the way back down. And as we do, you're going to just there's a slight bend in the knees as the back of the hands come together, and then roll the spine up and the arms draw up the center of the body. Again, just to about your collarbone. You want to come up too high, just about right here. That's the end of the kidney channel. And then exhale the arms out and back down. Just think about drawing and watering the seeds of whatever qualities that you want to bring in, the intentions, the spark, just giving it some nourishment so it can continue to grow and evolve. Nice loose wrists. This is a great opportunity, again, to do a check-in. Where can you relax into this movement? Each breath is new. Each moment is new. We keep coming to these practices to help start creating even more moments that help us feel connected and grounded and inspired and joyful and generous and at ease. And we start with creating the environment for that, helping the body to be relaxed, helping the nervous system to be settled, helping the mind to quiet, so that there's more opportunity for these moments of bliss to happen really whenever you want them to happen. Let's do one more inhale. Again, let's bring the hands to our chi ball one last time. Just feeling the energy between your palms. And then let's pull down the skies. Inhale the arms out to the sides, all the way up. And then exhale, let's float them back down. And inhale. And exhale. And one last time. Let's inhale, bring the feet closer together, and then exhale. All the way back down, one hand on top of the other. And let's pause here. Feeling our breath, feeling our bodies, sensing a relaxed mind. And all the possibilities as life unfolds in this moment, in the following moment, and then the following moment. How can we approach each just like a child with curiosity and wonder and lightness? And when you're ready, you can crack your eyes open.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Great seeing you all. I hope you have an inspired, joyful weekend. Stay warm.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see you next week. Bye.